It is cold, hence why I have my nice cozy hoodie on. So today's video is about how I managed to take about a minute off my 5k time, which I set 6 years ago. I say set like I'm some kind of pro, but I did that about 6 years ago, never been able to beat it. And in total this year, I have run 19 kilometers total in the whole of 2018. So I want to kind of chat to you about it and maybe give you some pointers if you're trying to increase or get better at your running time. I'm not saying this is like the fastest like 5k time, it's not. Obviously I would want it to be faster as always, but just a couple of little tips that I've learned over the years. It's taken me 6 years to do this, and I did it quite easily. I wasn't even aiming for a PB. So basically, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a story time. Let's go back a few years. So in from about 2008, 2009, I was like completely into running. Running was my favorite thing to do. I would run maybe 4-5 miles a day. It was a lot of running. And then I'd do like longer runs at the weekend. I just loved running, absolutely loved it. I did loads of 10Ks, loads of half marathons, and then I eventually did my first ever marathon in 2013, which was the London one. God, that was literally one of the best days of my life. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, I love park run as well. I was doing park run. So when I was kind of at the peak of like doing all this running, doing all these like hilly, like I loved doing like hill running as well. So even back then, like I did like hills. And yeah, so at the peak of that, I did Pontefract Park Run. So if you're near Pontefract and you do Pontefract Park Run, hello, it's a very nice course. And yeah, I think my best time was, now I remember at the time thinking like, God, I'm really like gunning for it. I'm really going. Like I was like, it was in summer and I had shorts and I just remember being so sweaty. But anyway, so the best time I did for that was 26:27. And not really that the times matter, they're just relevant to me. And yeah, and then I did London Marathon and then got injured. And this was like a little bit before it. I managed to get better for the marathon. But then after that, I was just like, I just don't want the injuries of running anymore. So fast forward a few years, I was kind of just doing like little bits of running here and there. I'd got a mountain bike that I was kind of just like going to work and back on like 2 or 3 miles. And I went traveling to Australia. I think I'd not had the road bike very long. I bought my road bike in Australia and I was still wanting to like lose weight, get fitter, because by that point I'd put quite a bit of weight on and I was probably about 95 to 100 kilos and I was trying to run again because in my head running was always the way that I had like lost weight, got fitter in the past. So sorry, this is such a long story, but so I hope you've got a cup of tea with you. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I was trying to run again, started running again, had this plan of like what I wanted to do, and then I pulled like the sciatic nerve like in your back. Is it actually in your back? I don't understand, but it's basically that's where I felt the pain. I don't know if it goes up your leg. And the pain was excruciating, but the only thing I could do after that was ride a bike. And so I just started riding the bike. And so from that period, from 2013 to now, running has never been like my main like sport. I've done a fair few park runs, never got anywhere near that time. And I remember always thinking in my head, like, how did I do that? How did I run so fast? And I was like, oh, it must have just been because I was just doing so much running at the time. And so yeah, obviously, as you know, because you watch my channel, you've seen obviously all the cycling stuff that I've been doing, but running has never been a focus. And this year I've literally ran 19 kilometers and I went to park run on Saturday, and genuinely I thought my best time was like 24 something, and so I was seeing the 25 marker and just thinking, oh yeah, I can keep up with that. And then obviously I was just a little bit behind him, so I was like, oh, I've not even gone anywhere near my PB. Not that I was even thinking of that, because it was a new course and I was like, I just want to try and get back into doing a few park runs here and there. Then got back and then realised actually it was my best like 5k time. I think it was like a fraction, like 0.01 or something off 5k, so it doesn't actually show up on Strava as my best 5k time, which is a little bit annoying. Not that it matters. I know that I did it in that time. So that time was like 25:37. And like I say, that wasn't like, I wasn't really going for it. And at the start, there were loads of people just kind of like, because there's about 300 people that do heat and park run. And so, yeah, so it wasn't like a fast start. If I'd have been nearer the front, it would have been a lot less than that. Anyway, the moral of the story is if you're wanting to try and increase your running time, the bike is such a safe, enjoyable, fun way of like increasing your aerobic capabilities to then be able to transfer to running. But let me just point out, because someone, and I wish I could remember the name now, but I really appreciate this comment. Someone said on my last running video, or was it on Instagram? Anyway, they said, just be careful because I think they said something about your fitness is always way ahead of your actual leg running ability. So never go like full pelt, which I didn't actually on Saturday. It wasn't like full gas. But yeah, that's sometimes a danger because your fitness is way above what my legs can physically do at the minute, just because they're not conditioned to do running at the minute. I want to get back into running a little bit more, but cycling is always going to be the number one for me, just because it's just, when I came back and saw that, and I was like, I've literally run less than 20k this year, and I've managed to knock like around a minute off my best time that I've not done in 6 years. Like 6 years I've been always wanting to try and like get better. I've never really done consistent training to be able to do it, but obviously just by doing what I've done this year on the bike, it's just easily made running a lot more effortless, which is just, this is why I love the bike so much. Like, I know I'm doing a few little running videos here and there, but it will always be cycling because it's just, you just don't get injured. You can just commute, you can just do so many amazing things on the bike, and then it increases your running fitness. So if you are either injured from running or you're wanting to get faster times and just literally incorporate the bike, you don't have to like get rid of all your running, just incorporate your bike maybe once, twice a week, go up some really steep hills, go on some long rides, get that endurance up, and you too could knock almost a minute off your personal best. Like, I'm saying it like, oh my God, it's like some kind of professional time. It's not. Someone even mentioned to me, they said, it was on Instagram, they went, oh, I'm not being rude, or was it YouTube? I can't remember. They all merge into one. But he basically said, oh, I'm quite surprised it's not faster than that. I don't mean to offend you, but I'm surprised it's not like 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, I'm really flattered. That's really nice. I'm glad someone said that. Yeah, maybe I'll go for 20 minutes. But I'm never, ever gonna like just thrash my legs running to try and get a time, because for me it is just, it's not where my love is. My love is on the road with the bikes, but I do love trail running, so I might get into a little bit more of that, as you've seen from my other vids. But I just feel like I've rambled on for like 8 minutes, so I'm just gonna go. But I just wanted to share that because I found it interesting and insightful just how good the bike is at improving overall fitness, even for running. So I'm gonna stop jabbering on now, and I'll see you next video. Bye! I feel like, what should my outro be? Because like I sometimes do this and then sometimes I'll do this and I get closer and just go. I'm not a very good winker. Do you know when people like wink and they're sexy when they wink? I just don't have a sexy wink. Mine's like, and I can't do it without moving my mouth. Watch. I can't do that side. That is not attractive. Anyway, I think I should just go. Farewell. Goodbye. Ta-ra. See you next video.